Salut aux terres d'espérance, pays de l'hospitalité. Tes les gens remplis de vaillance ont relevé ta dignité. Tes ficheurs Côte d'Ivoire, fiers artisans de ta grandeur, tous rassemblés pour ta gloire, te bâtiront dans le bonheur. Fiers Ivoiriens, le pays nous appelle. Si nous avons dans la paix ramené la liberté, notre devoir sera d'être des modèles et d'espérance promise à l'humanité, en forgeant unis dans la foi nouvelle, la patrie de la vraie fraternité.
A very good afternoon to you, and what a welcome to the show. That is Côte d'Ivoire with the national anthem. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Mukami Wambora, and the reason I'm visibly excited is because it is almost here. The 2019 African Cup of Nations beginning tomorrow with Egypt taking on Zimbabwe at 11 p.m. And of course, DSTV have you covered. They have a very special offer. Just for 3,999 shillings, you can get a 1-month subscription on the DSTV Compact, where you can watch all the games live and in HD on Super Sport 7. So be sure to get that, and remember the terms and conditions apply. Now remember, yesterday I told you I will have a surprise co-host in studio with me, and that co-host is here. I want him to come in. It is a Kiswahili anchor, Nimrod Tabu. Get in studio. Let's look at him.
No ma.
So he looks like he has some skill. Nimrod, I'm sure a lot of you are not even used to hearing him speak in English. So today,
Wow.
Siri yako inatoka. Hey, Nimrod.
Okay, let's do this. Fine. You got me today. Next week it's you on 7 as Citizen. I'll be here, Viva Africa 2019, the whole week. Can we agree?
That is a
Let's
deal.
agree. That's
that
a deal.
is a deal.
But good to be here. And then you chose a day like today when I can't even speak French. As in, my French is so bad, my English is worse.
Yeah, it's good for you to practice now, French at least. A good chance for you to practice. Yeah, and of course, in studio, as you can see, the Côte d'Ivoire fans. In Kenya, we say Ivory Coast.
How do you say that again?
Côte d'Ivoire.
How do you say that?
Am I saying it correctly? Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay. All right. I'll just call them the elephants.
Sound. And of course, our DJ for today, DJ Sibin, welcome to the show. He'll be playing all of those beats, and of course, he will also be giving us some of that Ivorian music. I'm sure they've given you some of those songs, so he'll be playing that for us. And of course, the question of the day, it's all about the elephants, the Ivory Coast. We want to know from you whether they can get back to their former glory, considering that they got out in the group stages in the last edition. Can they regain their former glory? 2015 champions, 2017 group stages. What will 2019 be like them? Let us know. And of course, Bernard is not in studio with us, but guess where he is? He is in Cairo, in Egypt. Bernard, can you hear me?
Yes, Mukami Wambora, how are you doing back there in Nairobi?
We're very good, marhaba. Let us know, you are with the national team. Maybe give us, the national team Harambee Stars, give us a bit of background. What's happening there in Cairo ahead of tomorrow's opener?
Right, Mukami, I can't hear you clearly because of network issues, but the national football team Harambee Stars arrived a few days ago, of course, here in Cairo, Egypt, for the 2019 African Cup of Nations. They've had about a 3-week camp in Europe where they played and trained in France, and then they headed on to Spain where they faced off against the Democratic Republic of Congo before they traveled from Europe to Cairo, Egypt, the venue of this year's Africa Cup of Nations. Of course, one of the venues. There are about four areas that will be hosting this year's Africa Cup of Nations. We managed to attend the team's training session, the first one that they had here in Cairo. It's a facility called the Annex Stadium. I'm sure you'll be seeing the images in just a moment. That facility is, interestingly, about 200 meters from where Harambee Stars will be facing off. And also, what is fascinating is the fact that the national football team is actually housed in a hotel in the background. You can't see it very clearly right now, but it's called the Tiba Hotel, which essentially means that the national football team will be based around this area for a significant period of time during this particular tournament, especially as far as their group stages are concerned. Let's listen to what the head coach, Sebastian Minye, had to say after they arrived in Cairo.
So difficult to have a good training. I think we prepare well the tournament. Also, in terms of acclimatation, to come only 5 days before, it was enough, and it was necessary to work hard a lot. For example, my friend from Uganda, he told me it was really difficult in Abu Dhabi to have 2 training sessions by day. We have everybody available for the tournament. It's important during this preparation also.
Right, Mukami, that's this head coach Sebastian Minye just giving his sentiments there after the team arrived. That was their first training session. He says the entire team was, of course, in good spirits after the long trip from Europe to Cairo, about 80 hours before they kick off their first game.
Bernard, you also mentioned that the connection is not so good. How has that been affecting the team and their preparations ahead of tomorrow?
Right, Mukami, of course, you know about internet. I can tell you for a fact it's also a bit difficult for myself here just to live stream all the way from Cairo in Egypt. And that has been a big concern for the national football team around the Stars, especially for the technical bench. Head coach Sebastian Minye stated that they've had a lot of challenges as far as network is concerned, and more specifically about internet. Most people, I'm sure, will be asking, why does the team want internet? Well, for one simple reason. The team needs to do its research. The technical bench needs to do its research. As for the team, in terms of the training as well, there's some of the things that they can be able to search online, be able to research about the opposing teams. Remember, Kenya is grouped with Algeria, Tanzania, and of course Senegal. So having internet enables the technical bench and the players as well to do some research before they face off their opponents. But let's hear what the coach had to say about poor internet here in Cairo.
The accommodation, because when we visited the hotel at this time, Wi-Fi, internet was there, sport channel also, and now we have nothing. And when you have a player with only 1 training session by day, they need sport channel to follow the tournament, English channel, and of course, with the new generation, if you don't have Wi-Fi, the days are very long. So I push to try to find a solution and to ask to my federation to help me for that.
Well, you can hear the head coach there just giving his sentiments. Mukami, internet has been a big concern. Even for myself here, just being on location, I'm just actually positioned in front of the Tiba Hotel. That's where the national football team is residing for this year's Africa Cup of Nations, specifically for their group stages. But perhaps they're hoping that the internet issue will be resolved before the end of the day, Mukami.
Yeah, we certainly hope that the internet issue is resolved. And as you're saying, you're right near the team hotel. A big concern for the country as a whole is with us not having Brian Mandela. How has the team there taken it in Cairo, and what do we move forward from here?
Well, I can tell you for a fact, Mukami, the injury of Brian Mandela has been another big talking point, because Brian Mandela's injury last week, and of course he underwent surgery and is expected to link up with the team today. He was having his surgery in France. He injured himself during one of the sessions. But ideally, he's been a very key, playing a very pivotal role in terms of course, in advising the players, especially in that particular role that he plays on the pitch. But nonetheless, the head coach says that he will be arriving, he'll be joining the team here, but not, of course, as a playing role, but as a motivating factor for the team despite his injury.
It was terrible during 3 days. this injury killed the atmosphere in the group. We lost some confidence, and after 3 days it was better and better. Maybe it's that creates something strong also in terms of spirit for the team. Of course, for the coach, it's difficult to play without Brian. He's one of my leaders, but maybe my leader.
I can see it's quite sunny there in Cairo. Maybe you can tell us how the team is adapting from the weather, the change from what it was in France, because it's still early summer there, and now in Egypt. What's the weather like, and how is the team adapting?
Just giving his sentiments regarding the absence and the injury of Brian Mandela, but as he said, he'll still be involved with the team to some extent of being part of the camp. He's a very good motivator. He'll be able to inspire some of the players before their opening game against Algeria coming.
Okay, Bernard, as you can hear, the internet connection, as you rightly said, is quite an issue. So I'll just repeat now my last question. I can see it's quite sunny there in Egypt. How is the team adapting to the weather, considering they were just from France? It was early summer there, and it looks quite hot in Egypt. What is the weather conditions like, and how are they adapting to it?
So in the clips there, as I was introducing my update here in Cairo, the team had its training session in the evening, where the temperatures are a bit cooler, and consequently also for the team to prepare itself for their game. The opening game, of course, will be in the evening, and these are the ideal conditions that the team has been trying to factor in their training session. And I can tell you the heat is something else. So one important thing is the fact that they need to hydrate, and some of the rules that the Confederation of African Football has introduced for this year's African Cup of Nations is the fact that at the 30th minute and the 75th minute they'll be having 3 minutes water breaks, which is very essential for the players to hydrate. So it's almost going to be the players and also the officials because of the sweltering conditions here in Cairo. Let's listen into what the captain Victor Wanyama had to say about the conditions in Cairo.
Kujel kama team na kutafuta ile formation na pia ile system poa inaweza tu fit. Kwa hivyo imetusaidia sana na imekuwa positive. Hopefully tuta apply hiyo vitu tume from those 2 games.
Thank you so much for that update, Bernard Ndong, who is in Cairo and will be giving us more updates, including tomorrow and for the rest of the tournament. Now, Nimrod, you've heard, they'll have to have 3-minute water breaks because of just how hot it is there.
It's hot. I think they need it. I think it will help them. But the problem would be, will that result in fatigues? Fatigue sometimes, you know, because I'm not bragging, but I've played football before, and quite frankly, those, you know, water breaks sometimes can really make you get tired because, you know, leave field of play, maybe you had an advantage and stuff like that. You have to run, take a break, drink, and then come back. Sometimes I think it affects your focus, but let's hope for the best. And then also, hot weather is not the very best. I guess some of people who've played football will tell you that sometimes it can be a bit draining. You know, sometimes you get dizzy, out of the blues, you know, so it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, we're here to watch and support.
Now, you're new to the show. I don't know if you noticed all that money there on the table.
Yeah, tell me about that. Am I? Can I win some of that?
It's not your money. That is 40,000 Kenya shillings, and we want this money to go. You guys might get a chance to win 40,000 shillings.
As a group or as an individual?
Individuals. They have to call in. Either you call in, but yeah, we'll ask you some questions during the quick fire. 40,000 Kenya shillings up for grabs. So hope you're paying attention to the show, and as you go and speak to some of our Côte d'Ivoire fans, maybe they'll be giving you some information that might actually be answers. Remember, the answers are just within the show, so just pay attention. Some have already been said already, so just know that.
Well, thanks, Mukami. So quickly, I just want you to do a quick round of introduction. Tell us who you are, how long you've been in Kenya, and how long you've been a supporter of your national team. It's important because, you know, you have to be patriotic, especially now. Viva Africa, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with you.
Okay, good afternoon, Tabo.
Afternoon to you too.
Yeah, my name is Adam Dempsey, of course from Ivory Coast.
And I can say that I've been a supporter from the time I was maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Not from the time you were born.
Yeah, from the time I was born, exactly. So, of course, it's the team from the country, and we are always with them, supporting them.
Looking forward
for them as much they can bring a trophy home.
Okay.
So we have been there for them, and we'll always be
Hoping
there
for the best.
as long as we are living.
Okay, great. Let's hear from him. Your name and you know, how long you've been a supporter of this team and how long you've been in the country, in Kenya.
Oh, hello Tambo. Hello everyone. My name is Emmanuel, and obviously I'm
like Emmanuel Ebue.
Yes, like Emmanuel Ebue, exactly. So I've been in Kenya for 2 years now, and I've been a supporter for Ivory Coast. I think, okay, I can say since I was born, but just to be specific, around 2005. Yeah. That's when I started really watching the team, and so far I've seen great talent in that team, and I've been celebrating great trophies with them. So
great.
I hope that this year they're going to do something very amazing.
We'll definitely discuss more of that. You, my friend.
Hello, everyone.
Hello to you too.
Yes, my name is Ngolo, but not Kante, Konate.
Yes. Because he's in France, yeah?
Yes.
You wish he was playing for Ivory Coast,
though. I'm here in Kenya since 1.5 years. I've been supporting the team since I was born. It's obvious. It's my national team, and I'm very patriotic. We hope to go as far as possible in this tournament, and as long as we are preparing also the coming tournament in our country, we hope the team to be very good for the next tournament also, and why not to bring the cup in Cote d'Ivoire.
Great. So we love friends from Africa. I mean, in this country, welcome everybody. But surprises me that we haven't convinced you enough to support Kenya, man. Harambee Stars, man. Everyone is saying I'm a supporter of Ivory. Come on, guys. You should say you're rooting for Ivory Coast and Kenya as well. Lakini wewe nasikia unafahamu Kiswahili. Hawa wenzako kidogo wametatizika licha ya kuwa nchini kwa muda. Kidogo tu maneno mawili matatu. Kwanza jitambulishe kwa Kiswahili, alafu useme kwa nini unapenda sana Ivory Coast bwana? Upendelei Kenya na uko hapa bwana.
Kwa majina naitwa Jamins Kofi.
Kiswahili safi kabisa.
Asante. Nimekaa Kenya miaka 6.
Miaka 6 sasa. Lakini kuja kwenda ama kuketi kwa muda mrefu?
Nafanya kazi kama.
Nafanya kazi. Asante sana. Je, how hopeful are you this time round about Ivory Coast, and you know, how far do you think they'll go?
There's something interesting about being considered like underdogs. I would say no, we're not really. So? I would say, considering the team that we have now, we don't have like the big names we used to have, the Drogbas of this world and all that.
Very true.
But yeah, I mean, psychologically, we are going to be at an advantage. So we're going to do very good.
Okay.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't see any other team that's going to do better than Ivory.
Okay. Later on, I'll come back to you and tell me whether any of you is thinking about traveling to Egypt to be part and parcel of, you know, the fan base that's supporting the Elephants or not. And also we'll be talking a lot about, you know, what is the expectation of the people at home about this year's performance. You guys were 2015 champions, right? Can we repeat it again or not? But for now, I think I'll hand it over back to Mukami so that, you know, we can talk about everything else to do with Cote d'Ivoire, and then, you know, we'll join you later.
Yeah. So I was told amongst them, this is now the experts, and we've heard of some of the sentiments of the other guys, and they're talking about not having those key players, Yaya Toure, Didier Drogba. Do you feel more confident with them or without them? Do you agree with what he was saying, that now you're at an advantage because people are like, they don't have those big players?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting us to Citizen TV. My name is Pakom Kwasi, as you were saying. And coming back to your question, I'd like to say that no player is eternal in a team, right? And then from that point of view, we can say that every country tries to build in a new generation. So we just have to give them a trial, because it's a very, very new generation. We don't have, as you said, Yaya Toure, Kolo Toure, and Didier Drogba, but we have a new dynamic that is in the team that I can see will surprise people.
And speaking of like the former players, Javinho is one of the players who was left out. Do you agree with the decision of the coach? Why do you think that decision was made? What was the reasoning behind it?
Yes, in Ivory Coast we are around, let's say, 22 millions. So we have 22 million coach in Ivory Coast, but we need to at least try our coach. But it was a surprise for the whole country. If you go to social media, everyone is talking about why is it that Gervinho, as one of the elders, is not in the team. Also seeing his performance with Parma in the Italy championship. But we have just to try our coach and then trust his choices, and then we see what it will give.
Now, you've mentioned your coach. Interesting. You're one of the few countries in Africa that is actually trusting a local coach. Most of the African teams, including Kenya, we've gotten coaches who are not from the country of origin. Burundi is one of the few that also have a local coach. And you won with a foreign coach. Do you think there's a difference? What do you prefer? Do you feel like that was a good decision to make, to go with a local coach?
Yeah, thank you for that question. But our first cup, you know, we have two stars. Our first cup we won with a local coach, actually. Yo Marshall was his name. And then we are trying also to trust our own locals, because Ivory Coast is a nation of football, so we have so many players that can give back to the society, as the English people say. And then to me, it doesn't make much difference to have a local or a foreign coach, as long as the job is done. As long as the job is well done, I think we'll just have to try this coach that is there.
Do you trust him? Because in your group, you came second after Guinea. And we know Ivory Coast, the history that you have. How was the reaction back home, the 22 million people? How did they react to that result of coming second in the group? And that also now made you be pulled second in the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, I think the main objective for that coach was to qualify the team for the AFCON, actually. But I think there he did his job. The team was qualified, although we came second. It was a bit of deception, but not that much, because as I told you, we are going through a transition in building up a new team. So things are not moving as we will hope for, but then we have to understand that they are new, they are very young.
So what is Ivory Coast's target? If you're in transition, what is your expectation in the African Cup of Nations? Where do you want to reach?
We really hope to go far as possible in that AFCON, but behind our mind, we are just preparing. We hope the team to be stronger for that AFCON that will happen in Ivory Coast. It was supposed to happen, I think, the next one, but we had a bit of problem with the Confederation. But
for 2023
in 2023 now, so we really hope that by that time we'll have a very strong team that can take the cup at home. But as per now, we hope to go as far as possible.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And during your friendly, you lost to Uganda. Are you taking note of those friendlies? Then you went on to win against Zambia 4-1. Are you taking note of those, or were they just to get the team ready for the African Cup of Nations? Have they influenced the psychology of the team, that loss?
Of course. And you can see clearly what was their reaction yesterday versus Zambia. So they need to understand that there is no small team anymore in the AFCON. All the teams that are there, they won their place to be in the cup. So nowadays we don't talk about big teams anymore. We were all surprised by Uganda, by the way. But psychologically, I think it put them in a pressure position, so that they reacted very well versus Zambia. And then it also gave time to our coach to understand what is going on and then make the right adjustment.
Let me ask maybe one of you guys on that side. Which game is a must-win for Côte d'Ivoire in the African Cup of Nations? Which game must you win? And if you don't win that game, you feel like it's all over?
Okay, thank you. For me, the most game to win is the first game versus South Africa. You know, that's the most important game. You know, once you win that game, at least you know quickly, and you know, you will have a high morale, and you will be able at least to manage the other games. That's what I think. Yes.
I'm seeing Nimrod is already tired. He's already taken a seat on the bench.
Oh, I'm supposed to stand throughout.
Just Pepe time. Pepe time made you so tired.
I didn't know.
No, you can't
I'm trying not to take over your show, Mukami, but thanks for having me. Having said that, I think I'd like to ask you maybe 2 or 3 questions. And the first one has to do, and I know Mukami has asked Pacom and he spoke about it, about the entire squad. Some of the players, or maybe not having the big names, but you've got some of the players who are in the team who probably didn't have their best seasons abroad, and there are many of them. I'll probably pick Wilfred Zaha alone to have had a very great season in the EPL, but even then, when you look at the overall performance of Crystal Palace, it wasn't very crystal, right? So now we have Africa Cup of Nations. You're talking about fatigue, just about when the season has ended abroad. What's your expectation? What do you think they will do if they didn't perform well abroad? What makes you think that they will perform in the AFCON? Let me start with you.
Okay. For my understanding, I think he will perform because he will try. We trust on him, and as long as he came to play with us, he will do the best he can to play for the team, to give something for the team. And it's his first AFCON. He will take experience with other players to play well. For me, I trust that he will do a good competition. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll come back to you and about the tournament, but let me pass it on to Mukami to carry on, and then I'll come back to you for more questions about the team and what is expected.
Yeah, the reason we had to interrupt you, Michael Kingi, the other host on the show, he's currently in Cape Verde. And Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, Mukami, I can barely hear you. The wind is crazy today. I mean, the wind on the beach is not so nice, especially when you're going live, because I have to keep on pressing onto my earpiece to hear what you guys are saying. But very interesting conversations going on in studio. I think Ivory Coast are under too much pressure. If you ask me what they will do at this Cup of Nations, it will be a replica of what they did in the last Cup of Nations. I don't think they will really perform because the pressure is too much on them. If you look at the likes of Zaha, Wilfred Bony and the likes, they don't have the pedigree of the Drogba's and that ilk, the group that really made elephants what they were elephants. But let's hope for the best. Let's see what they can do. Coming.
The guests here are actually laughing and they can't believe what they're hearing. Then they think they don't have any pressure because everyone is expecting them not to perform because they don't have the likes of Didier Drogba. But now back to Cape Verde. I understand Kenya actually had a beach football game rather against Nigeria. Maybe you can tell us about how that football game went.
Mukami, it was a painful match to watch and cover. We started well. We have the basics. We know the skills, we have them. But the technical know-how of how to play beach football is our biggest problem. We don't have a league and it could show. We don't have proper training and it could show. We started off in 2 minutes, we were 3 goals down. 3-0 down in 2 minutes. Then, because beach football, they played quarters, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. At the end of the first quarter, it was that 3-0. Coming into the second quarter, we started well, scored 2 goals. At 3-2, everybody said, whoa, Kenya is back. But believe you me, something just happened. We were hit for 12, Mukami, 12-4. You can't believe that scoreline. I mean, we have a long way to go. But it's good exposure for the boys. It's good to know that this is what people are doing because Nigeria just discovered set pieces as Kenya's weak point. They scored 6 goals from corner kicks. Hit it straight into the net. Hit it straight into the net. So that is what was frustrating us. Those dead ball situations and what we were not able to do in terms of containing the Nigerians. We have more trouble today, Mukami, because we play Senegal. Senegal is just across that side. If you look at where I'm pointing, across the water is Senegal. They have brought in their fans in droves. They fill up that stadium. It's a 5,000 capacity stadium. They were full in that stadium when they played Djibouti yesterday, and they hit Djibouti 14-0. So they say that's a warm-up because Kenyans talk too much. That is warm-up for us. So I don't know what will happen today, but I'll be there to cover that game and I'll give you the results.
Thank you so much for that, Mike Okini there in Cape Verde. I really hope that this is not that was not an omen of how the national team will perform in the African Cup of Nations. 12-4, Nimrod.
I know, it's so scary.
12-4, and now we're playing Senegal.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but we have to pull up. Sometimes you say the results are behind you. You have to focus on what's ahead of you. So I guess it's time to just pat yourself in the back and say that was a bad game in the office. We have to do better in the next match. That's how people do it. All right, so we're going to take a short break and then we'll be back. Remember, you're watching Viva Africa 2019. We're here with our friends from Côte d'Ivoire, the Elephants, if you like.